The journey to understanding your worth is deeply intertwined with the ability to release the need for external validation. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with images, opinions, and messages that suggest who we should be, what we should achieve, and how we should look, it's easy to get caught up in the endless pursuit of approval from others. This need for validation often begins at a young age, when we are taught to seek the approval of our parents, teachers, and peers. As we grow older, this desire for external validation can become ingrained, leading us to measure our worth based on how others perceive us rather than how we see ourselves. To stop seeking external validation is to reclaim your power, to take back control of your self-worth and place it firmly in your own hands. It means recognizing that your value is not determined by the number of likes on a social media post, the accolades you receive at work, or the praise from friends and family. Your worth is not a reflection of how others see you, but rather a deep, intrinsic quality that resides within you, independent of external circumstances or opinions. When you stop seeking external validation, you begin to cultivate a sense of self that is grounded in your own beliefs, values, and experiences. You start to trust yourself more, to listen to your own inner voice, and to follow your own path, regardless of whether it aligns with what others expect of you. Letting go of the need for external validation requires a shift in mindset, one that involves looking inward rather than outward for affirmation. It means understanding that the opinions of others, while sometimes helpful, are ultimately subjective and should not dictate how you feel about yourself. People's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, biases, and limitations, and they often have little to do with your true worth. By seeking validation from others, you are giving away your power, allowing someone else's perspective to define who you are. This can lead to a cycle of people-pleasing, where you constantly try to mold yourself into what you think others want you to be, rather than embracing who you truly are. This cycle is not only exhausting, but also damaging to your self-esteem, as it perpetuates the belief that your worth is contingent on external approval. To break free from the need for external validation, you must first cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness. This involves getting to know yourself on a deeper level, understanding your strengths, weaknesses, values, and aspirations. It's about recognizing what truly matters to you and what makes you feel fulfilled, regardless of whether others understand or agree. This self-awareness allows you to define your own standards for success and happiness, rather than relying on society's often narrow and superficial definitions. When you are clear about who you are and what you stand for, you are less likely to be swayed by the opinions of others. You begin to trust your own judgment, to make decisions based on what feels right for you, and to take responsibility for your own happiness. Another key aspect of releasing the need for external validation is learning to embrace and accept yourself fully, flaws and all. This means acknowledging that you are not perfect, and that's okay. Perfection is an illusion, and the pursuit of it often leads to self-criticism and a constant feeling of inadequacy. By accepting yourself as you are, you begin to see that your worth is not tied to how perfect you appear to others, but to the unique qualities and experiences that make you who you are. Self-acceptance is about being kind to yourself, forgiving your mistakes, and recognizing that your imperfections are what make you human. It's about understanding that you are enough, just as you are, without needing to prove yourself to anyone else. Letting go of external validation also means embracing the idea that not everyone will like or approve of you, and that's perfectly fine. You cannot control how others perceive you, nor should you try. People's opinions of you are often more about them, their beliefs, their insecurities, their expectations, than they are about you. When you stop seeking approval from others, you free yourself from the pressure to conform to other people's expectations. You begin to live more authentically, making choices that align with your true self rather than what you think will make others happy. This authenticity not only leads to greater self-respect, but also attracts people who appreciate you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. One of the most liberating aspects of releasing the need for external validation is the realization that you are the only one who truly knows what is best for you. You are the expert on your own life, and no one else can fully understand your experiences, your dreams, or your challenges. By trusting yourself and your own instincts, you begin to make decisions that are aligned with your values and your vision for your life. You stop looking to others for approval or permission and start giving yourself the validation you need. This shift in perspective allows you to take ownership of your life, to pursue your goals with confidence, and to live in a way that is true to who you are. To truly stop seeking external validation, you must also learn to find validation within yourself. This means cultivating a sense of inner worth that is not dependent on external circumstances. It's about developing self-compassion, where you treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. It's about recognizing your accomplishments, no matter how small, and taking pride in them. It's about giving yourself credit for the effort you put in, even if the outcome isn't perfect. By validating yourself, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy, not because of what others think, but because of who you are. The process of letting go of external validation is ongoing and requires consistent effort. It involves continually reminding yourself that your worth is not contingent on others' approval, but on your own belief in yourself. It's about challenging the thoughts and behaviors that keep you tied to the need for external validation and replacing them with practices that build your self-esteem and confidence. Over time, as you continue to validate yourself from within, you will find that the opinions of others hold less power over you. You will become more resilient, more self-assured, and more at peace with who you are. This inner strength will allow you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease, knowing that your worth is not something that can be given or taken away by others, but something that is inherently yours. Ultimately, the journey to stop seeking external validation is one of self-discovery and empowerment. It's about reclaiming your sense of self-worth, trusting your own judgment, and living in a way that is true to you. It's about understanding that you are enough, just as you are, and that you do not need anyone else's approval to feel worthy or valuable. Letting go of toxic relationships is one of the most profound acts of self-respect and self-preservation that you can undertake. Toxic relationships, whether they be with friends, family, or romantic partners, are those connections that drain your energy, erode your self-esteem, and hinder your growth. They are the relationships that leave you feeling depleted, anxious, and unhappy, often causing more harm than good. These are the connections where you find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, questioning your worth, and doubting your instincts. In toxic relationships, the balance of give and take is often skewed, leaving you to shoulder more of the emotional burden, to compromise more than you should, and to accept less than you deserve. Letting go of such relationships is not only necessary for your mental and emotional well-being, but also essential for your personal growth and happiness. Recognizing a toxic relationship is the first step in the process of letting go. Toxic relationships can be insidious, creeping into your life subtly, often disguised as love, friendship, or support. They can be difficult to identify because they are not always blatantly harmful. Sometimes the toxicity is masked by moments of kindness, affection, or care, making it hard to see the relationship for what it truly is. You may find yourself making excuses for the other person's behavior, convincing yourself that things will get better, or blaming yourself for the issues in the relationship. However, if you find that the relationship consistently leaves you feeling worse about yourself, if it diminishes your sense of self-worth, or if it stifles your growth, it is likely toxic. Recognizing this truth can be painful, especially if the relationship is with someone you care deeply about. But it is a crucial step toward freeing yourself from the cycle of negativity and harm. Once you have acknowledged the toxicity, the next step is to understand that letting go is not a sign of weakness or failure. On the contrary, it is a powerful act of self-love and strength. It takes courage to walk away from a relationship that has been a significant part of your life, especially if there is a strong emotional attachment or a history of shared experiences. But holding on to a toxic relationship out of fear, guilt, or obligation only prolongs your suffering. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of pain, preventing you from moving forward and finding healthier, more fulfilling connections. Letting go is not about giving up on someone or abandoning them. It's about choosing yourself, about prioritizing your own well-being, and about recognizing that you deserve to be in relationships that uplift and support you, not ones that bring you down. The process of letting go often involves setting boundaries, which can be difficult, especially if you have been in a pattern of accommodating or tolerating toxic behavior. Setting boundaries means clearly defining what is acceptable and what is not, and being firm in your decision to protect your emotional and mental space. It might mean limiting contact, ending conversations that turn negative, or even cutting ties completely if necessary. This can be particularly challenging if the toxic person is someone you have a deep history with, such as a family member or a long-term friend. You may fear the backlash, the judgment, or the loss of connection. However, it is important to remember that boundaries are not about punishing the other person, they are about protecting yourself. They are about creating a safe space where you can heal, grow, and thrive without the constant negativity that a toxic relationship brings. Letting go of toxic relationships also requires a shift in mindset, one that involves releasing the guilt, shame, or responsibility that you may feel for the other person's behavior. In toxic relationships, it is common to take on more than your fair share of blame, to feel responsible for the other person's happiness, or to believe that you can somehow fix the situation if you just try harder. But the truth is, you are not responsible for someone else's behavior, and you cannot change them if they are not willing to change themselves. Letting go means accepting that the only person you have control over is yourself, and that your priority must be your own well-being. It means recognizing that it is not your job to save or fix anyone else, especially at the expense of your own health and happiness. The emotional process of letting go can be incredibly challenging. You may experience a range of emotions, from sadness and grief to anger and relief. It is normal to mourn the loss of the relationship, even if it was toxic, because you are letting go of not just the person, but also the hopes, dreams, and expectations that you had for the relationship. You may feel a sense of loss for the good times you shared, or for the potential you believed the relationship had. It's important to allow yourself to feel these emotions, to grieve the loss, and to give yourself the space and time you need to heal. Healing is not a linear process, and it may take time to fully recover from the impact of a toxic relationship. But with each day, as you move further away from the toxicity, you will begin to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. Part of letting go involves reclaiming your power and rebuilding your self-esteem. Toxic relationships often leave deep scars, eroding your confidence and making you doubt your worth. As you distance yourself from the toxicity, it's important to focus on rebuilding your sense of self, to remind yourself of your value, and to engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, who remind you of your strengths and capabilities, and who encourage you to be the best version of yourself. Take the time to reconnect with your passions, to pursue your goals, and to invest in your personal growth. The more you focus on yourself and your well-being, the easier it will be to let go of the toxic relationship and to move forward with your life. Letting go of toxic relationships also opens the door to new, healthier connections. When you release the negativity from your life, you create space for positive, supportive, and loving relationships to enter. You attract people who respect your boundaries, who value your worth, and who contribute to your growth and happiness. These new connections are built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding, allowing you to experience relationships in a way that is fulfilling and enriching. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you make room for what truly nourishes your soul. As you move forward, it's important to maintain the lessons you've learned from letting go of toxic relationships. Be mindful of the signs of toxicity and trust your instincts when something doesn't feel right. Continue to set and enforce boundaries, and don't be afraid to walk away from situations or people that do not align with your values or well-being. Remember that you deserve to be in relationships that bring out the best in you, that support your growth, and that make you feel loved and valued. By letting go of toxic relationships, you are choosing to honor yourself, to protect your peace, and to live a life that is free from the negativity that once held you back. Letting go of toxic relationships is not an easy journey, but it is a necessary one. It requires courage, strength, and a deep commitment to yourself. But as you let go, you will find that you are stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you ever realized. You will discover a sense of freedom and peace that comes from no longer carrying the weight of a toxic relationship. You will reclaim your power, rebuild your self-esteem, and create a life that is filled with love, joy, and fulfillment. And in doing so, you will come to know your worth in a way that is unshakable, undeniable, and truly your own. Investing in your growth is one of the most empowering and transformative decisions you can make for yourself. It is a commitment to continuously evolve, to push beyond your comfort zones, and to become the best version of yourself. When you invest in your growth, you are choosing to prioritize your development, both personally and professionally, and to embrace a mindset of lifelong learning and self-improvement. This investment is not just about acquiring new skills or knowledge, it's about nurturing your entire being, mind, body, and spirit. It's about recognizing that you are a work in progress and that every step you take towards your growth brings you closer to your fullest potential. Investing in your growth means dedicating time, energy, and resources to activities that expand your horizons, challenge your limitations, and enrich your life in meaningful ways. To truly invest in your growth, you must first cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness. This involves taking the time to reflect on where you are in your life, where you want to be, and what it will take to get there. It's about understanding your strengths, identifying your weaknesses, and being honest with yourself about the areas in which you need to improve. Self-awareness is the foundation of growth because it provides you with a clear sense of direction and purpose. It allows you to set realistic and meaningful goals that are aligned with your values and aspirations. Without self-awareness, it's easy to get lost in the pursuit of growth for growth's sake, without any real sense of what you're trying to achieve or why it matters to you. Once you have a clear understanding of yourself and your goals, the next step in investing in your growth is to seek out opportunities for learning and development. This could mean enrolling in courses, attending workshops, reading books, or seeking out mentors who can guide you on your journey. It's about being proactive in acquiring the knowledge and skills you need to succeed in your chosen field or to enhance your personal life. However, investing in your growth is not limited to formal education or training. It's also about learning from life experiences, embracing challenges, and being open to new perspectives. Every experience, whether positive or negative, offers a lesson that can contribute to your growth. By approaching life with a curious and open mind, you can turn everyday experiences into valuable opportunities for learning and development. Investing in your growth also requires a commitment to self-discipline and perseverance. Growth is not always easy, and it often involves stepping outside of your comfort zone and facing your fears. It's about pushing through the obstacles, the setbacks, and the self-doubt that inevitably arise on the path to self-improvement. Self-discipline is about staying focused on your goals, even when the journey becomes difficult or when distractions threaten to derail your progress. It's about making the necessary sacrifices, whether that means dedicating time to study instead of leisure or choosing long-term benefits over short-term gratification. Perseverance is the ability to keep going even when the results are not immediate, and to maintain faith in the process of growth. It's about understanding that growth is a marathon, not a sprint, and that true transformation takes time, effort, and patience. Another key aspect of investing in your growth is the willingness to embrace change and adapt to new circumstances. Growth often requires you to let go of old habits, beliefs, or ways of thinking that no longer serve you. It's about being flexible and open to new ideas, even if they challenge your current worldview. Embracing change means being willing to step into the unknown, to take risks, and to explore new possibilities. It's about recognizing that growth and comfort cannot coexist, and that true growth often occurs when you are willing to leave behind what is familiar and comfortable. Change can be intimidating, but it is also a powerful catalyst for growth, pushing you to evolve and adapt in ways you never thought possible. Investing in your growth also means prioritizing your well-being. Your physical, mental, and emotional health are the foundation upon which your growth is built. Without a strong foundation, it's difficult to sustain the energy and focus needed for continuous self-improvement. This means taking care of your body through regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest. It means nurturing your mind by engaging in activities that stimulate your intellect and creativity, such as reading, journaling, or engaging in meaningful conversations. It also means tending to your emotional health by practicing self-care, seeking support when needed, and managing stress in healthy ways. When you prioritize your well-being, you are better equipped to handle the challenges that come with growth and to maintain the resilience needed to keep moving forward. Part of investing in your growth is also about surrounding yourself with positive influences and supportive relationships. The people you choose to spend time with can have a significant impact on your growth journey. Positive relationships with mentors, peers, and loved ones can provide encouragement, guidance, and accountability, helping you stay on track and motivated. On the other hand, toxic or negative influences can hinder your growth, drain your inner energy, and create unnecessary obstacles. It's important to be mindful of the company you keep and to seek out relationships that inspire and uplift you. This may mean distancing yourself from negative influences or seeking out new connections that align with your goals and values. When you surround yourself with positive influences, you create an environment that is conducive to growth and that supports your journey towards self-improvement. Investing in your growth also involves developing a growth mindset, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning. It's about viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as obstacles to be avoided. When you have a growth mindset, you are more likely to take on new challenges, to persist in the face of setbacks, and to see effort as a path to mastery. This mindset is crucial for continuous self-improvement because it encourages you to embrace challenges, to learn from failure, and to keep striving for excellence. It's about understanding that growth is not about being perfect, but about constantly striving to improve and to reach your full potential. As you invest in your growth, it's important to celebrate your progress along the way. Growth is a journey, and it's important to acknowledge the milestones and achievements you reach, no matter how small they may seem. Celebrating your progress helps to reinforce the positive changes you are making and to keep you motivated on your journey. It's about recognizing that growth is not just about the destination, but about the process of getting there. Each step you take, each lesson you learn, and each challenge you overcome is a testament to your commitment to self-improvement. By taking the time to celebrate your progress, you are acknowledging the hard work and effort you have put into your growth and giving yourself the encouragement you need to keep going. Investing in your growth is a lifelong commitment. It's not something that you do once and then forget about. It's a continuous process of learning, evolving, and adapting. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, and about making choices that align with your goals and values. It's about being patient with yourself, understanding that growth is not always linear, and that there will be ups and downs along the way. But with each step you take, you are moving closer to your fullest potential, and you are creating a life that is rich with purpose, fulfillment, and meaning. The rewards of investing in your growth are immeasurable. As you continue to grow, you will find that you become more confident, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You will develop a deeper sense of self-awareness and self-acceptance, and you will find greater satisfaction and fulfillment in your life. You will become more open to new experiences, more willing to take risks, and more resilient in the face of challenges. You will discover that the more you invest in your growth, the more you are able to achieve, and the more you are able to contribute to the world around you. Investing in your growth is ultimately an investment in your future. It's about laying the foundation for a life that is not only successful, but also meaningful and fulfilling. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of those around you. When you invest in your growth, you are better equipped to make a positive impact in the world, to contribute to the lives of others, and to create a legacy that will endure long after you are gone. In the end, the journey of growth is a deeply personal one. It's about discovering who you are, what you are capable of, and what you want to achieve in this life. It's about taking the time to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, and to become the person you were meant to be. Investing in your growth is not always easy, and it requires dedication, effort, and a willingness to embrace change. But the rewards are worth it, for in the process of growing, you will discover a deeper sense of purpose, fulfillment, and joy. And in the end, you will look back on your life and know that you have lived it to the fullest, that you have reached your fullest potential, and that you have made a lasting impact on the world. Trusting your instincts is a profound and essential part of navigating through life, guiding you toward decisions and actions that align with your true self. Your instincts, those deep-seated feelings and intuitions that arise without the need for conscious reasoning, are the inner compass that directs you on your journey. They are the whispers of your soul, the subtle nudges that urge you to move in a particular direction, to take a certain path, or to avoid a situation that doesn't feel right. Trusting your instincts is about tuning into this inner voice and allowing it to guide you, even when the outside world might be telling you otherwise. It's about recognizing that you possess an innate wisdom, a deep knowing that transcends logic and reason, and that this wisdom is there to protect, guide, and lead you toward your highest good. To trust your instincts, you must first cultivate a deep connection with yourself. This connection is nurtured through self-awareness, reflection, and mindfulness. It's about taking the time to listen to your inner voice, to pay attention to the subtle signals that your body and mind send you. This might manifest as a feeling in your gut, a sense of unease, or a quiet confidence that emerges when you're faced with a decision. Your instincts are always communicating with you, but in the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to overlook or dismiss them. Trusting your instincts requires you to slow down, to quiet the noise of the outside world, and to tune into your inner world. It's about creating space in your life for stillness and introspection, where you can hear the whispers of your soul and understand what they're telling you. When you trust your instincts, you are acknowledging that you have an inner wisdom that knows what is best for you. This wisdom is not something that can be explained or justified through logic. It is a feeling, an intuition that comes from deep within. It's about recognizing that you don't need to have all the answers or to understand everything intellectually sometimes. You just need to trust that your instincts are leading you in the right direction. This trust is built over time as you learn to listen to and act on your instincts, and as you see the positive outcomes that result from following your inner guidance. Trusting your instincts is about having faith in yourself and in the journey you are on, even when the path ahead is uncertain or when others may doubt your decisions. One of the challenges of trusting your instincts is overcoming the fear of making the wrong decision. It's natural to second-guess yourself, especially when faced with important choices that could have a significant impact on your life. But trusting your instincts means letting go of the need for certainty and embracing the unknown. It's about understanding that your instincts are there to guide you, not to provide you with guarantees. There will always be risks involved in any decision, but by trusting your instincts, you are choosing to move forward with confidence and courage. It's about accepting that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of the journey and that they are opportunities for growth and learning. When you trust your instincts, you are more likely to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, and to pursue opportunities that align with your true desires and passions. Trusting your instincts also means learning to differentiate between your instincts and your fears. Fear can often masquerade as intuition, leading you to avoid situations or decisions that might actually be beneficial for your growth. It's important to understand that true instincts are not driven by fear or anxiety. They come from a place of inner knowing and calm. When you trust your instincts, you are able to recognize the difference between a genuine gut feeling and a fear-based reaction. This requires self-awareness and the ability to tune into your body's signals. Often instincts will feel like a quiet, steady knowing, while fear will feel more like a loud, urgent voice that demands immediate action. By learning to recognize these differences, you can make decisions that are guided by your true instincts rather than by fear. Another aspect of trusting your instincts is the ability to stand firm in your decisions, even when others may not agree or understand. The world is full of opinions, advice, and expectations from others, and it can be challenging to stay true to your instincts in the face of external pressure. But trusting your instincts means having the courage to follow your own path, even when it goes against the grain or when it defies conventional wisdom. It's about knowing that you are the expert on your own life and that no one else can make decisions for you. This doesn't mean that you ignore the advice or input of others, but that you ultimately trust yourself to make the final decision. When you trust your instincts, you are able to navigate through life with a sense of purpose and confidence, knowing that you are being true to yourself and your values. Trusting your instincts also requires you to let go of the need for approval from others. It's about understanding that not everyone will understand or support your decisions, and that's okay. When you trust your instincts, you are choosing to prioritize your own inner guidance over the opinions and judgments of others. This can be difficult, especially if you are someone who values harmony and the approval of those around you. But true growth and fulfillment come from following your own path, not from seeking validation from others. Trusting your instincts means being willing to disappoint others if it means staying true to yourself. It's about recognizing that your life is yours to live and that you are the one who has to live with the consequences of your decisions. By trusting your instincts, you are giving yourself permission to live authentically and to make choices that are aligned with your true self. Trusting your instincts also involves being patient with yourself in the process. Sometimes your instincts may not lead you to an immediate answer or solution. Instead, they may guide you to take a step back, to wait, or to gather more information before making a decision. It's important to honor this process and to trust that your instincts will reveal the right path in their own time. This requires patience and the ability to sit with uncertainty, which can be uncomfortable. But by trusting your instincts, you are allowing yourself the time and space to make decisions that are truly aligned with your values and desires. It's about trusting that the right answers will come to you when the time is right, and that there is no need to rush or force a decision. Trusting your instincts also means being open to change and adaptability. Your instincts may lead you in a direction that requires you to pivot or make adjustments to your plans. It's important to remain flexible and open to these changes. even if they were not part of your original plan. Trusting your instincts is about being willing to go with the flow and to embrace the unexpected twists and turns that life may bring. It's about understanding that your instincts are guiding you toward your highest good, even if the path is not always clear or straightforward. Or by trusting your instincts, you are allowing yourself to be guided by a higher wisdom that knows what is best for you, even if it doesn't always make sense in the moment. Trusting your instincts is also about cultivating a deep sense of self-trust and confidence. The more you trust your instincts, the more you build your confidence in your ability to make decisions that are right for you. This self-trust is a powerful force that allows you to navigate through life with a sense of ease and assurance. It's about knowing that you have the inner resources to handle whatever challenges come your way, and that you can trust yourself to make the right decisions. This confidence is not about being infallible or never making mistakes. It's about trusting that you have the ability to learn and grow from every experience, and that your instincts will always guide you in the right direction. As you continue to trust your instincts, you will find that your life becomes more aligned with your true self. You will make decisions that are in harmony with your values, desires, and aspirations, and you will feel a greater sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your life. Trusting your instincts allows you to live authentically, to make choices that reflect who you truly are, and to create a life that is rich with meaning and purpose. It's about living in alignment with your highest self and allowing your instincts to guide you toward the life you were meant to live. Trusting your instincts is not always easy, and it requires practice and patience. But the more you tune into your inner voice and allow it to guide you, the stronger and more confident you will become in your ability to navigate through life. You will find that your instincts are a powerful tool for decision making, and that they can lead you to opportunities, experiences, and relationships that are truly aligned with your highest good. By trusting your instincts, you are choosing to live a life that is true to yourself, and that is guided by a deep inner wisdom that knows what is best for you. Trusting your instincts is ultimately about trusting yourself. It's about believing in your ability to make the right decisions, to navigate through challenges, and to create a life that is aligned with your true self. When you trust your instincts, you are empowering yourself to live authentically, to make choices that are true to your values, and to follow the path that is meant for you. You are choosing to live a life that is guided by your inner wisdom, and that is in harmony with your highest good. Trusting your instincts is a powerful and transformative practice that can lead you to a life of greater fulfillment, purpose, and joy. Celebrating your wins, no matter how big or small, is an essential practice that honors your journey, acknowledges your progress, and fuels your motivation to keep moving forward. In a world that often emphasizes the grand achievements, the monumental successes, it's easy to overlook the smaller victories, the quiet moments of triumph that may not make headlines but are significant milestones in your personal growth and development. But these small wins, those everyday accomplishments that might seem trivial in the grand scheme of things, are the building blocks of your larger goals. They are the stepping stones that pave the way to your ultimate success. When you take the time to celebrate these wins, you're not just recognizing the end result, you're honoring the effort, the persistence, and the resilience that brought you to that point. Celebrating your wins is about more than just acknowledging the outcome. It's about recognizing the process, the journey that led you to that moment. It's about understanding that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. It's about giving yourself credit for the hard work, the dedication, and the commitment that you've shown along the way. When you celebrate your wins, you're affirming your progress, reinforcing your self-belief, and reminding yourself that you are capable of achieving great things. It's about taking a moment to pause, reflect, and appreciate how far you've come, rather than constantly focusing on how far you still have to go. By celebrating your wins, you're cultivating a positive mindset, one that recognizes and values the incremental progress that is often overlooked in the pursuit of larger goals. The act of celebrating your wins, both big and small, is a powerful way to build momentum. Each time you acknowledge a victory, you're reinforcing the belief that you are making progress, that you are moving closer to your goals. This creates a positive feedback loop that motivates you to keep going, to push through challenges, and to stay committed to your journey. It's about recognizing that success is not just about reaching the finish line, but about the continuous progress you make along the way. When you celebrate your wins, you're sending a message to yourself that your efforts are paying off, that you are on the right path, and that you have what it takes to succeed. This sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, can be incredibly motivating, giving you the confidence and energy to keep moving forward. Celebrating your wins is also about cultivating a sense of gratitude. It's about taking the time to appreciate the opportunities, the resources, and the support that have helped you achieve your goals. It's about recognizing that success is not achieved in isolation, but often with the help of others who have supported, encouraged, and guided you along the way. When you celebrate your wins, you're also celebrating the people and the circumstances that have contributed to your success. This sense of gratitude not only enhances your overall well-being, but also strengthens your relationships with those who have been a part of your journey. It's about acknowledging that every win, no matter how small, is something to be grateful for, and that gratitude can have a powerful impact on your outlook and your ability to achieve future successes. Celebrating your wins, both big and small, is a way to boost your self-esteem and confidence. When you take the time to acknowledge your accomplishments, you're affirming your abilities, your strengths, and your worth. You're reminding yourself that you are capable, that you have the skills and the determination to achieve your goals. This sense of self-assurance can be incredibly empowering, giving you the courage to take on new challenges, to step out of your comfort zone, and to pursue even bigger dreams. It's about recognizing that every win, no matter how small, is a testament to your hard work and perseverance. By celebrating these wins, you're building a strong foundation of self-confidence that will serve you well in all areas of your life. The practice of celebrating your wins is also about creating a positive and supportive environment for yourself. It's about surrounding yourself with positivity, with reminders of your achievements, and with the encouragement to keep going. When you celebrate your wins, you're creating a space where success is recognized and valued, where your efforts are appreciated, and where you are encouraged to continue striving for your goals. This positive environment can have a profound impact on your motivation, your mindset, and your overall sense of well-being. It's about creating a culture of celebration in your life where you take the time to acknowledge and appreciate the progress you're making, rather than constantly focusing on what's still to be done. Celebrating your wins, both big and small, is also a way to inspire others. When you share your successes with others, you're not only acknowledging your own achievements, but also showing others what's possible. You're demonstrating that success is not just about the big, flashy accomplishments, but about the consistent, everyday efforts that lead to progress. You're inspiring others to recognize and celebrate their own wins, to appreciate the journey they're on, and to stay motivated to achieve their goals. It's about creating a ripple effect of positivity and encouragement, where your celebration of your wins motivates others to do the same. By celebrating your wins, you're contributing to a culture of success where progress is recognized, valued, and celebrated. The act of celebrating your wins is also a form of self-care. It's about taking the time to nurture yourself, to acknowledge your efforts, and to reward yourself for your hard work. It's about recognizing that you deserve to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small, and that this celebration is an important part of maintaining your overall well-being. When you celebrate your wins, you're giving yourself permission to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to take a moment to relax, and to appreciate what you've accomplished. This self-care practice is essential for preventing burnout, for maintaining your motivation, and for ensuring that you have the energy and enthusiasm to continue pursuing your goals. Celebrating your wins, both big and small, is a powerful way to stay focused and motivated on your journey. It's about recognizing that every step forward is a victory, that every effort you make is bringing you closer to your goals. It's about understanding that success is not just about the end result, but about the progress you make along the way. By celebrating your wins, you're affirming your commitment to your goals, reinforcing your self-belief, and reminding yourself that you are capable of achieving great things. This celebration is not just about the past, it's also about setting the stage for future successes. It's about building the momentum, the confidence, and the motivation to continue moving forward, to keep striving for your goals, and to achieve even greater successes in the future. In conclusion, celebrating your wins, big and small, is an essential practice that honors your journey, acknowledges your progress, and fuels your motivation to keep moving forward. It's about recognizing the value of every step you take, every effort you make, and every achievement you accomplish, no matter how big or small. By celebrating your wins, you're cultivating a positive mindset, building your self-confidence, and creating a supportive environment that encourages continued progress. It's about understanding that success is not just about reaching the finish line, but about the continuous progress you make along the way. When you celebrate your wins, you're affirming your commitment to your goals, reinforcing your self-belief, and reminding yourself that you are capable of achieving great things. This practice of celebration is a powerful way to stay focused, motivated, and inspired on your journey to success. It's about taking the time to honor your progress, to appreciate your efforts, and to recognize that every win, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. So take a moment to celebrate your wins, big and small, and let that celebration fuel your continued growth and success. Stripping away the layers of societal expectations, the masks we wear to fit in, and the roles we play to please others, and instead stepping into the full, raw truth of your being. This is not a simple task, as it requires immense courage and a willingness to be vulnerable. To embrace your authentic self means to recognize and honor every part of who you are, your strengths, your talents, your dreams, but also your flaws, your fears, and your mistakes. It means looking in the mirror and saying, "This is me, and I am enough." It's about understanding that your worth is not conditional. It doesn't depend on meeting some external standard of success, beauty, or perfection. Rather, your worth is inherent. It's the value you bring into the world simply by being yourself. Embracing your authentic self involves letting go of the need to conform to what others expect or demand of you. It means refusing to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. This journey is about peeling back the layers that have been placed on you by others, whether it's family, friends, or society at large, and discovering the person you were always meant to be. When you embrace who you are, you give yourself permission to live freely and unapologetically. You stop hiding behind facades, and you begin to express yourself in ways that are true to your nature. This process can be uncomfortable, as it often requires facing parts of yourself that you may have kept hidden out of fear of rejection or judgment. But it's in this very act of facing and embracing all of who you are that you find your true power. To be authentic is to be real, to be true, to be honest with yourself and with others. It means showing up in the world as your genuine self without the need to edit or censor your thoughts, feelings, or actions to make others more comfortable. This doesn't mean that you're perfect, far from it. It means that you're human, beautifully flawed, and perfectly imperfect. Embracing your authentic self is about celebrating the uniqueness that you bring to the world, understanding that no one else can be you, and that is your greatest strength. It's about recognizing that your quirks, your idiosyncrasies, and your differences are what make you special, and that trying to be like everyone else is a disservice to the incredible individual you are. Living authentically means being in alignment with your true self. It means making choices that reflect your values, your desires, and your true nature. It's about following your own path, even if it's different from what others expect or what society dictates. It's about listening to that inner voice that guides you, trusting it, and allowing it to lead you toward a life that is truly your own. When you embrace your authentic self, you stop comparing yourself to others because you understand that your journey is unique. You realize that your worth is not determined by how you measure up to others, but by how true you are to yourself. Embracing your authentic self also involves letting go of the fear of being judged or misunderstood. It means accepting that not everyone will understand you or appreciate you, and that's okay. You are not here to please everyone, you are here to live your truth. When you embrace your authentic self, you attract people who resonate with who you truly are, and you form deeper, more meaningful connections. You no longer feel the need to pretend or to put on a show because you're comfortable in your own skin. This comfort doesn't come from external validation, it comes from within, from knowing that you are enough just as you are. In embracing your authentic self, you also embrace your purpose. You begin to live a life that is aligned with who you are rather than what others expect of you. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment and peace because you are no longer at war with yourself. You are no longer trying to be something you're not, and in this authenticity you find your true worth. Your value is not based on how well you fit into the molds that others have created for you, but on how fully you embody the person you were created to be. Embracing your authentic self is about stepping into your own power, owning your story, and living a life that is true to you. It's about being brave enough to be yourself in a world that often tries to make you someone else. And in that bravery, you find the true essence of your worth. Setting boundaries is an essential act of self-love and self-respect, one that often requires deep introspection and the courage to stand firm in your convictions. Boundaries are not just lines that you draw in the sand. They are the very foundation upon which your sense of self-worth is built. They represent the limits you set for how others can treat you, how you allow yourself to be treated, and how you interact with the world around you. When you set boundaries, you are essentially declaring what you value, what you need, and what you are unwilling to tolerate. It is a profound statement that says, I value myself enough to protect my energy, my time, and my well-being. This act of setting boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary for your mental, emotional, and even physical health. In a world that often blurs the lines between personal and professional, between what is yours and what is theirs, boundaries serve as a critical tool for maintaining your sense of identity and autonomy. They help you define what is acceptable in your life and what is not, ensuring that your space, both physical and emotional, is respected. When you set boundaries, you are not only protecting yourself from harm, but you are also creating a safe space where you can thrive. This space allows you to focus on what truly matters to you, to nurture your passions, and to grow into the person you are meant to be. Setting boundaries can be challenging, especially if you are accustomed to putting others' needs before your own, or if you have been conditioned to believe that saying no is somehow wrong. It can be difficult to establish limits with those closest to you, family, friends, colleagues, because there is often a fear of rejection, confrontation, or the possibility of being seen as uncaring. But the truth is, boundaries are a form of love, both for yourself and for others. When you set clear boundaries, you are showing respect for your own needs while also teaching others how to respect you. You are creating a clear understanding of what you need to feel safe, valued, and appreciated, and in doing so, you allow your relationships to flourish in a healthy and balanced way. The process of setting boundaries begins with self-awareness. It requires you to take a step back and evaluate what is important to you, what drains you, and what energizes you. It's about understanding your own limits, knowing how much you can give without depleting yourself, recognizing when you need to take a step back, and being honest with yourself about what you need to maintain your well-being. This self-awareness is key because it allows you to set boundaries that are realistic and sustainable. It's not about building walls to keep others out. It's about creating a framework that supports your growth and well-being. Once you have identified your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly and assertively. This can be difficult, especially if you are used to being accommodating or if you fear conflict. However, it is essential to express your boundaries in a way that is firm yet respectful. This means being clear about what you need, why you need it, and what the consequences will be if those boundaries are not respected. It's about standing up for yourself in a way that is empowering, not aggressive. It's about being direct and honest without feeling the need to justify or explain yourself excessively. The more you practice this, the more confident you will become in asserting your boundaries, and the more others will come to respect them. Honoring your boundaries is just as important as setting them. It's one thing to say what your limits are. It's another to enforce them consistently. Honoring your boundaries means holding yourself and others accountable to the standards you have set. It means not allowing others to overstep those limits, even if it's uncomfortable or difficult to do so. This requires a deep commitment to yourself and a belief that your needs are valid and deserving of respect. It's about not compromising on what you know is right for you, even if it means disappointing others or facing backlash. This can be particularly challenging in relationships where the dynamics have been long established, but it is necessary for your own well-being. When you honor your boundaries, you are reinforcing your sense of self-worth. You are affirming to yourself that you deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and consideration. You are also teaching others how to treat you, showing them that you will not tolerate behavior that is disrespectful or harmful. This may lead to some resistance or pushback, especially if others are not used to you asserting yourself. But over time, as you continue to honor your boundaries, you will find that those around you begin to respect them as well. They will come to understand that your boundaries are not negotiable and that they are a reflection of the value you place on yourself. Honoring your boundaries also means being willing to reassess and adjust them as needed. Life is dynamic, and so are your needs and circumstances. There may be times when you need to reinforce certain boundaries more strongly or relax others depending on the situation. This flexibility is important because it allows you to navigate life's challenges without compromising your values or well-being. It's about being in tune with yourself, knowing when to stand firm and when to adapt, all while maintaining your sense of self-worth. Setting and honoring boundaries is a continuous process, one that evolves as you grow and change. It's not something you do once and then forget about. It requires ongoing attention and commitment. Each time you set a boundary and honor it, you strengthen your relationship with yourself and reinforce the belief that you are worthy of respect and care. This process empowers you to live a life that is true to who you are, free from the pressures and expectations of others. It allows you to focus on what truly matters, to nurture your own well-being, and to create the space you need to thrive.